do not unmute yourself unnecessarily. So we'll try. Okay, so we are currently live on YouTube. So hey guys, it's me Dawson from Decoders. So on this in this video, I'll be talking about the microcontroller board, which is called as Raspberry Pi. This engineering level students, like when if you are doing engineering in Sayadri or somewhere, for the final year, you are having a project to do on this thing, electronic project. So for this purpose, for doing this project, we are using this mini computer board, that is MCU board, called as Raspberry Pi. So I'll be doing a presentation on it. I'll be explaining it in detail in the simplest language as much as possible. So we'll move forward. So what is Raspberry Pi? So Raspberry Pi is actually, just a second, I have made points actually. Let me just open my folder. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, okay. Raspberry Pi is actually kind of a microcontroller board. I do not know whether I'm getting connected or not. Just developed by Broadcom. This Raspberry Pi project was originally leaned towards the promotion of teaching basic computer science in schools and in developing countries, such as in some countries, in African countries or in some US countries, they teach Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is a very powerful board. I'll be practically showing you since I've purchased this board using some spare this thing. So this original model became more popular than anticipated, selling outside the target market for its use, such as robotics. So in the field of robotics, this board is being used. Sayadri, this thing, any engineering college, if you go and if you ask the final sem about Raspberry Pi, they'll easily tell. They know heavily about Raspberry Pi. So yeah, we'll move forward actually. We'll go to the page actually. This is the Raspberry Pi page. I'll be leaving these resources down. So this project is actually kind of this thing, what we tell. Okay, so this is actually the page of Raspberry Pi. Here there is a large community. It's kind of an open source community, like the Raspberry Pi Foundation is there, where they teach young people how to code and all those stuff in the African and the developing countries, so that the kids can learn coding at a young age, like not like kind of this thing, like in the sense to develop that critical level thinking or the critical level analogy, so that they can solve problems. In US, the thing is they teach that at a very younger age. They are able to this thing, like understand the real concept behind it. So nextly we'll be going through the, just a second, we'll be going through the software part actually. Which software does it use? So when it uses the Raspberry Pi, the software it uses is simple. It runs on the Raspberry Pi OS. Raspberry Pi OS is previously called as Raspbian, is the official operating system by which the Raspberry Pi board is computed. So this is nothing but, this is like a mini computer. This board is a mini computer, to be honest. Using the Raspberry Pi OS, install the Raspberry Pi OS using the Raspberry Pi imager. So I'll be showing you how to connect the image actually. So thing is, you need to download this software. I'm currently having this software here right now. Let me show you. This is called as a Raspberry Pi imager, to be honest. Let me just click on that. Let me run it. So what you have to do is simple. You have to take your this thing, SD card, your storage card, which is there in your mobile, and that you have to connect it to your computer using a card reader or any kind of a thing. Let me show you, let me demonstrate you practically. Let me join via another meet and let me show it to you. Let me do one thing. Let me be joining to the Z one batch link so that another batch can see. Okay, now let me yeah, just a second. Are you guys able to see my face?
No.
What about now? No, I think you are able to see my.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now the thing is, this board here, there is a SD card, so it's blank. No, I think it's not blank. What about the other section? Other section are you able to see?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay, what about this section? Anushri? No, I'm sharing my camera right now. Icon, I think you have clicked on that. Just I'll do one thing then. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll show it again, but for another section I'll be showing. So this is your SD card. You need to connect it to your card reader. Let me connect it for now. There is no holder here, so let me just keep it aside like this. So you have actually you have just guys, just give me a second, I'll join. Simple, you have to connect it to your micro SD card adapter. That is, that adapter will come, you can connect it to your laptop. Let me just do one thing, let me join their meet also. Yeah, Anushri, don't worry, you can't see anything. I'll be showing, wait, I'll be joining their meet and I'll be zooming it and I'll be showing you, don't worry. Okay, don't worry, just a second. uh, yeah, just a second, I'll be copying their link. For this link, actually this is called ZXL, here it is called as XRC. Okay, let me join the XRC one.